Welcome to this presentation. Everything I say here is my own experience, with my own description of what did happen. This presentation is not something anyone will instantly believe. The events I describe are not documented, explored or recorded. I possess absolutely no supporting evidence, and all I can give you is my honest word. I have never read any books about the aliens, but always had my own opinion about their existence and jobs they have in the universe. Please, do not see this presentation as a true fact, but consider it to be an entertainment, and my personal story I have a strong desire to share with you. I hope men in black will not appear at my door to give me instructions about how to stay invisible to the general population. The year now is 2020. In recent years I have been visited by 3 types of aliens and few other entities. Everything happened only inside my home. When I say that they visited me, I mean that they did emerge into our world to a certain degree. They did not take a cab to my house, and they did not enter through the door. Extraterrestrial entities exist in parallel dimensions and they are invisible to us in our world. One of them was just a huge shadow. Another one I was able to see for a moment in the form of a hologram. And the last one visited me several times, touching me and healing me from illness and stress, and I do believe it is still near. Let me tell you about the first alien. He appeared as a huge shadow in my bedroom. As I learned later, when an entity decides to emerge from their dimension to be noticed here, they do pick people who are able to handle it and understand. They usually do such events to prove their existence to a selected individual. When such an event happens, they choose to place a human into a sleep paralysis experience. Sleep paralysis is when a human is conscious but unable to move any part of their body. It is not a pleasant feeling. It feels that your nervous system does not listen to you, and it is spooky for anyone when it happens the first time. When an alien entity begins the process to emerge into our world, they cast a sleep paralysis signal onto a human, and in my case I was only able to think, breathe and operate my eyes. Such a situation is also accompanied with a strange frequency sound, because their dimension and our dimension are separated by frequency. We exist and operate in a world governed by different frequencies. I believe that the frequency sound is only audible to the selected individual, and if there are any other humans who may be near, they are placed in deep sleep. I assume that the individuals who get visited by extraterrestrials usually live alone. The frequency sound sounds like a buzz when the extraterrestrial breaks the barrier that separates their dimension from ours. The first extraterrestrial appeared in a doorway as a dense shadow. I was laying on my back, facing the open door of my bedroom. Sleep paralysis with a frequency buzz did occur. I was only able to think, breathe and blink. It is not a fun feeling, but it can be spooky or terrifying for some. I may describe it as a vibration and fear going all through you, and I assume that this event is only visible and felt by selected individuals, but there was nobody else around to confirm to me that it is so. At first, I thought it was a grim reaper of some kind. It happened at night. I had no lights on in the house, and my window blinds were closed. The shadow looked 7 feet tall and was black dense. It appeared several times at night on a few consecutive days. When it would appear, there would be a buzz all through my body that it is similar to fear, and I would go cold without any ability to move due to sleep paralysis. I was only able to think, breathe and see. As I later learned, this sleep paralysis is necessary to keep me from acting out, jumping away or trying to fight it. Sleep paralysis kept me from hurting myself or doing any dangerous moves. I was not sure what that shadow wanted from me, but later the voice of God told me that it came to see me in order to prove me its existence. Just to your knowledge, I do believe that God is an operating system of our mind and guides us by various means to live our purpose on earth, but what God actually is has to be a different topic. I did feel that this extraterrestrial did communicate to my mind, but the way it did so was on a different channel that transmits thoughts much faster. The alien scanned my whole life and my all memories in seconds to place a judgment. Later God told me that this shadow alien was the predator type of an alien. He does look similar to the predator alien they have movies about. This presentation has nothing to do with the movie Predator, but I have to refer to the character the creators of the movie invented. The predator is not evil nor good, but he is the enforcer, and designed to survive in any environment on any planet. If you are one of those people who label any story like this as a hallucination, then your education is not enough to put the puzzle together, or you were a drug addict without beliefs. I was not intoxicated on anything. I was completely sober during any experience with extraterrestrials. This predator alien usually never reveals himself to humans on Earth, because he knows he can scare anyone to death. This is why in the movies about the predator they show him having a very advanced invisibility shield. He can spy on any entity in the galaxy and his job is to enforce galactic laws. We may call him a police officer in space. And yes, God told me he technically can eat anything to sustain his biological shell. This predator is not stupid, but has advanced mind and body that are designed to enforce regulations. He does not understand human emotions, but knows the code of conduct and has the ability to read any information an organism contains to compare it to how it should be. His mind functions like a judge but at an extremely fast rate. God told me that this predator alien is not really necessary on Earth. And it came to read my mind and run test procedures through my mind and spirit, to see how much of this I could handle. He communicates via fast telepathy to any biological organism. I saw the shadow several times and never saw him again, but God told me that the predator decided that it is not my time to transition into the afterlife and my spirit was kept intact in the human dimension within the body. Let me say it again, I was not intoxicated on any hallucinogenic substance. It is your choice to believe me or not. But after his visits it took me several weeks to recover the stability of my breathing and heart rate. If you ever had to be in a courtroom or deal with a lawsuit, human judges and human police officers on Earth, you probably did notice that it does create stress. But the presence of this predator extraterrestrial is 100 times more stressful than the presence of any human judge or a cop. The predator only understands galactic laws and does act according to them. Predator has no emotions or feelings, but only his cold decisions and code of conduct he applies to keep anyone on their path of existence in the galaxy. He is the cop, judge and executioner. He does not need to eat the human body, but can simply pull the human spirit out of the body and absorb it. He never does anything wrong and he never negotiates. Second alien who visited me was the gray alien we all know very well. I was laying on my side on my bed and a sleep paralysis phenomenon happened again. The alien gray appeared like a hologram for several seconds. It looked somewhat digital or like a ghost. It seemed like he was made of some pixels that all emerged to form a character. He looked very similar to a living 3D character. There was also a frequency buzz during the moment of his presence in our dimension. He exists in an invisible dimension to do his duties. There was again some special frequency that ran through me and I guessed right away that this gray alien is communicating with my mind at an extremely fast rate by using telepathy that is not in human language. His fast communication is beyond human capacity to understand. The communication did have this fast cosmic noise to it. It was spooky and exciting but lasted for just a moment. God explained to me later, that if that alien gray would completely emerge into our dimension to be absolutely visible here, then everyone around the neighborhood would feel the vibe that something strange is present somewhere in the neighborhood. So, this is why they only emerge partially into the visible to human spectrum. Again, I have not read any books about the aliens and all I am telling you is from my own experience with some explanations I received from God. When alien gray becomes visible in the holographic spectrum it feels that you're getting cold. This chill seems to be equal to being in the area with a temperature of about 51 degrees Fahrenheit, but it is not dangerous as I have learned. God explained to me later that this alien gray had to prove to me their existence and he established communication with my mind to determine my possibilities. Again, I believe that God is an operating system of our mind and is designed to guide us according to our path in life. God also explained to me that alien grays do have 3 minds. First one is technical to work with technology. Second is scientific to deal with biology and life. Third one is spiritual to deal with elements that are not technology nor biology. Alien grays can engage all 3 minds in any combination to do almost any assigned tasks. They do somewhat understand human emotions, but theoretically, as if they simply know the codes that human emotions follow. They see us as specially designed organisms to function in our dimension on Earth. They do understand that humans are purposely limited in our abilities to make sure we do assigned duties, and our minds are operated by the system we often can refer to as God. Third alien was not showing himself, but a sleep paralysis phenomenon did start again during one night, and I would lay on my side. At this time I already knew that something would happen again. Suddenly I felt and heard that there was someone behind me standing on that side of the bed. The noise reminded some breathing of some bulldog with some emotional tone. I now think that this extraterrestrial has difficulty breathing in our dimension. There was a special vibe and certain frequency buzz, but not scary or cold, but I could not turn around to take a look due to sleep paralysis. But my eyes and basic body functions did work. And then that alien would touch my shoulder with what felt like a finger. The touch felt very caring and warm. I could hear the alien breath. He made some sounds, but those sounds were cute and it felt that he communicated his feelings through sounds that I did understand without words. I immediately thought that it must be that alien they show in the movie E.T. the Extraterrestrial. God later confirmed that one does look about the same. Each kind of alien is present on Earth, but functions in the invisible dimension. They do have different jobs here while staying invisible to us. Predator aliens, like I said, are influencers and enforcers. Perhaps they are satanic, but some evil is necessary in order for the good to exist, just like some criminals are necessary to give cops something to do, sometimes to keep them employed. It is like a law of life on Earth, just like some bad bacteria is present to give our immune system constant jobs. Good and evil are necessary for a circle of life. Alien greys operate our minds, and everything that is beyond our understanding is under their control. They operate the progress of humanity and deal with new technologies that they channel to people to create. But this QTT type of alien exists and works with feelings and emotions. His job is to understand humans very well. They understand everything about emotions, love, passion, compassion, and everything else that has to do with any kind of feelings. They work with human chakras, spirits, and auras. Alien greys understand that too, but technically and scientifically, and they have an agenda to push the progress of our civilization and often ignore human emotions that may interfere. I never read any books about aliens at all, just a few documentaries that said a lot of nothing, and I did watch a few decent interviews online. I always wanted to learn about extraterrestrial life, and I believe I won the lottery to learn a bit more about it during my existence on Earth. This ET aliens are able to act as a human factor to represent us for other extraterrestrials who lack abilities to relate to human feelings and emotions. I never saw this cute ET alien directly, but I believe he is still here at my place. He is able to mess with things, and, for example, he is able to turn on the computer or TV without my permission when there is something important I got to see. He can hide or misplace things when I am not home, and he can wake me up or help me fall asleep. Several times he appeared behind my back when I was laying on my side on the bed. Sleep paralysis would occur under his command, I believe, and his touch would feel as if he is reaching right through me, directly to the nervous system, spine and heart. Usually such touch would quickly relieve stress, and, as God told me, it gives ET direct contact with my chakras to adjust my emotions and feelings. He is capable of healing mental and emotional problems. He never reveals himself to my eyes, but it should not surprise me if I see his face when I will have sleep paralysis laying on my side facing him. He is the only extraterrestrial creature who has no other use, but to work with feelings or emotions of the humans. He is like an intelligent invisible pet, or like Master Yoda from the movie Star Wars. Right at this moment as I am preparing this text, he is invisible but here, and trying to tell me to write this with his emotional telepathy. He says that most humans lack the ability to understand different dimensions, and something had to be added to their mind to condition their nervous system. And he is usually very upset with people, because they misbehave and never do enormous effort to understand one another. But our imperfections actually give him a job, and he does not want to be fired. This is it. I hope you made it to the very end of this presentation and have the ability to think outside the norm. I do not possess any proof for anything that I have told you, but if my honest words are not enough, it simply means that you are not chosen for this kind of information. Besides extraterrestrial, I had been visited by other spirits and entities who exist in other dimensions. Thank you for listening.